Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Azmi, and today our group will present about the QMS flow specific requirements. First of all, which is the first persona, a quality manager. Amina Rahman, a 42 years old quality manager at company XYZ, oversees all ISO 9001 2015 compliance activities including internal audits, CAPA processes, document control, and management review documentation. She has solid experience with digital systems and prefers structured workflows that reduce administrative workload. Amina is highly motivated to maintain the company's certification status and avoid external audit non-conformities. Her main goals are to gain real-time visibility of QMS performance, ensure departments close finding on time, and maintain an organized central repository of documents. Behaviorally, she checks the system dashboard multiple times a day, assigns tasks through automated reminders, and follows up on overdue items weekly. Her major pain points include scattered audit evidence, inconsistent document version, difficulty tracking CAPA processes, and the heavy reliance on manual reminders when using spreadsheet and shared device. So, as a quality manager, I want to schedule internal audits so that all departments follow the KMS audit cycle. Assign audits, finding to users so that the corrective actions are properly tracked. Control document changes through a structured approval workflow so that all updates to SOPs are properly reviewed and traceable. Track the investigation process of each complaint so that I can ensure issues are resolved within the expected time frame. Link each kappa to its root so that the corrective action addresses the underlying problem effectively. Document the results of effectiveness checks so that the future audits can verify that the kappa actions have worked. Next, the second persona, which is the internal auditor. Raymond Lim is a 35-year-old internal auditor with extensive knowledge of ISO 9001 to 2015 and its compliance requirements. He performs audit across various departments and prefers using tablets during inspection to log findings immediately. Raymond is motivated by efficiency and accuracy, aiming to complete audits with minimal administrative overhead. His goals include generating standardized checklists, ensuring findings are recorded consistently, and improving traceability of evidence. His behaviors include using templates, uploading photos directly during audits, and performing real-time classification of findings. Raymond's main pain points stem from manual audit processes such as version confusion between checklist files, misplacement of findings, and difficulty consolidating audit data across departments. And then as an auditor, I want to generate audit checklists from templates so that I can prepare audits quickly. I record audit findings directly into the system so that documentation is accurate and centralized. Upload photos or files as evidence so that findings are properly supported. And classify each findings so that the quality manager can take appropriate action.
Let's look at personal tree of department head. We can see Siti Nur Hidayah, who is 39 years old, can manage the production department at company XYZ. The manager is ensuring her team follows the all quality procedures and maintains compliance. The current challenges include unclear SOP efficiently, difficulty tracking employee training manually, and missing deadlines to the automated reminders. As a department head, using the QMS4, Mr. Siti wants to view all CAPA assigned to her so they can prioritize collective action effectively. She needs to access the latest SOP, which so her team follows the quality procedures. She wants to update audit findings status to keep the quality manager informed of progress. She also needs to check employee training status to ensure competency compliance. And finally, she wants to review and approve document changes so any validated SOP updates are released. Now moving to persona 4, our factory operator. On this slide, we can see Awin Hakimi, who is 28 years old and works as the factory operator. He mainly uses the system to review the SOP or report issues. His challenges include difficulty locating correct SOP vision lack of confidence with complex digital forms and confusion from multiple document formats stored manually. Okay, next. As an employee using the QMS4, Aminu wants to easily access the latest SOP and he can follow the correct work procedures. He needs to log complaints or issues simply so the management can address them. Also, he wants to see his training history so he knows when the refresher training is required.
Next, we will enter system feature. The functional score of the QMS4 system is defined by act call use case UC1 to UC8 distributed across 4 specialized modules, which are audit management, change control, customer complaint, and CAPA corrective action. The quality manager holds responsibility for the majority of these complaint critical functions. They are responsible for UC1, schedule audit in the audit management module, UC3, manage document in document control, UC6, investigate complaint in complaint handling, and the entire corrective action module, covering both UC7, initiate CAPA, and UC8, verify effectiveness. Responsibility for the remaining specific tasks is distributed among other actors. The auditor is responsible for UC2 log findings. The department head share responsibility for UC4 approve changes, and any employee is responsible for the initial data capture via UC5 log complaint in the complaint handling module. Each use case fulfill a specific function. UC1 schedule audit is for planning the annual review cycle. UC2 log finding allow auditor to record non-conformity and assign them for resolution. In document control, UC3 managed document is crucial for maintaining automated version control, while UC4 approved changes facilitate the application of electronic signature to securely log documents. For complaint handling, UC5 log complaint, capture initial issue from any employee, and UC6 investigate complaint allow the quality manager to manage the resolution process by assigning investigator and deadline. The CAPA process is initiated by UC7, initiate CAPA, which create a record explicitly linked to its SOP, and is concluded by UC8, verify effectiveness, where the quality manager record the final auditable evidence of the problem resolution.
Next, I will present our domain module. It serves as the conceptual database schema for QMS flow. We apply specific object-oriented principles here to ensure the data integrity. So the first one is the generalization. If you look at the top, we have a user superclass. We use this attract common attribute like user ID, name, and email. The quality manager, auditor, department head, and employee subclasses inherit this attribute. This data allows us to centralize authentication logic while keeping role-specific information distinct. So the second one is the composition. We apply a strong composition relationship between audit and finding. This means a finding cannot exist without an audit. If an audit is deleted, the findings are automatically deleted too. Finally is the association. You can see how complaint and finding classes fit into the CAPA class. The 0 to 1 multiplicity indicate the escalation is optional. Not every complaint requires a formal corrective action. So next is the step machine diagram for the document class. This helps us to control our strictly versioning workflow. So a document will start as a draft. When a user clicks submit, it moves to under review. In this state, the document is locked and cannot be edited. The document only reaches the release state if the department head approved it. If rejected, it will go back to draft for changes. So this can ensure no unapproved document are ever released.
I will talk about the first user story, which is schedule audit. So first of all, as a user story description, as a quality manager, I want to create an annual audit plan, schedule audit for specific departments, and assign auditors so that the company can maintain a structured audit cycle and ensure ISO 9001:2015 compliance. Preconditions: the quality manager is authenticated and logged into the system. The quality manager has the role permission as quality manager or audit manager. And then the audit manager, audit management module is accessible. And then for flow of events, first of all, the quality manager navigates to the audit management dashboard. The system displays the current audit plans and an option to schedule out new audit. The quality manager clicks schedule new audit, and then the system displays a form with the current field. And then the quality manager fills in the required field and select an auditor from a drop-down list. And then the quality manager clicks save audit, and then the system validates the input. The system then sends the audit record, and assigns it a unique audit ID. And then the system sends a notification to the assigned author. The system then logs the audit creation in the audit trail. The system displays a success message like this. And then that's the end of the use case. And then alternative flow. The first one is if the auditor is unavailable. If the selected auditor is already assigned to another audit on the same date, let's say, the system displays an error like this. And then the form remains open for correction. And the second flow is when past date is entered. If the schedule pass in the is input like in the past, the system will display an error like this. And then post condition, a new audit record is created with status scheduled. And then the assigned auditor receives a notification. The audit is added to the annual audit plan and visible in the audit calendar. The audit creation is logged in the system audit trail. For the acceptance criteria, the system must prevent scheduling an audit with a past date. The system must check auditor availability and prevent double booking. All mandatory fields, such as all of this data, must be validated before saving. The audit must be assigned into a unique audit upon creation. The assigned auditor must receive an automated notification. Exception flow. The first one is database connection error. If the system fails to save the audit due to database error, the transaction is rolled back and an error message is displayed. And then the form data is retained for the submission. And then for the second one, if the session times out during the form submission, the system redirects to the login page and all unsaved data is lost. Upon the login, the user is returned to the audit dashboard. Okay, now this is the activity diagram. So here it represents the process previously, and then the process will start when the user clicks scheduling audit, and then it will enter the audit, and then click save audit. And then if there is error, it will ask the user to resubmit. If there is no error, it will continue towards the next step, which is to validate input. And if the input is false, it will go back to the first step, and then if there is no error, it will continue until the end of the process. And then this is the sequence diagram. For the sequence diagram, it starts by the user opening the dashboard, and then the user will input the validate schedule, and then if there is error, it will return to the first step, and then if there is no error, it will continue to the next step, just like the previous project. And then it will continue, and if there is no error, it will continue until the end, and will send a confirmation notification for the user.
For my session, I will go to the manage document user story page, use case tree in our QMS4 system. This user story says, as a quality manager, I want to upload standard operating procedures to a centralized repository with automated version control, so that all users access the latest documents and mission history is maintained. The process begins when the quality manager navigates to document control. They keep upload new document without the metadata form and select their file. The system then validates the file format and check for the duplicate titles. If it is a new document, it gets version 1. If it is an update to an existing document, the system asks create new version, and it is increment to version 1.1. The document is saved with draft status and login is updated. There are 3 key factors to make this logos. First, state file validation only the PDF, DOCS, and SL file under 50 MB are accepted. Second, intelligent version control that automatically manage version 1 and version 1.1 sequencing. The duplicate detection that prevents confusion by asking before creating new version. As shown in our activity diagram, this follow a few proof points, starting with navigation, proceed through file selection and validation. The diagram clearly show both success path and error handling. And this is our sequence diagram. It also demonstrates how the system validates each step, checking for the duplicate, manage the versioning, and ensure all activities are properly logged in. The audit trail before confirming success to the user.
Now I will be explaining the user story file. The use case is log complaint with ID US005. The actor is the employee. The goal is allow employee to submit the complaint through a simple form so that issue can be reported quickly and accurately. The preconditions are that the employee is logged in and the complaint module is available. After successful submission, a new complaint record is created with status new and the quality manager is notified. Next, the activity diagram explains the overall workflow. The process starts when the employee opens log complaint form. The system displays the complaint form and the employee enter complaint details and may attach supporting file. After submitting the complaint, the system validates the data. If required files are missing, the system prompts the employee to complete them. If all required files are complete, the system saves the complaint with status new and notify the quality manager, then the process ends. Finally, the sequence diagram shows how system components interact. The employee submits the complaint through the complaint page, which sends the data to the complaint controller for validation. If the input is invalid or a system error occurs, an error message is returned to the employee. If the input is valid, the controller will save the complaint in the complaint record, generate a unique complaint ID, and trigger the notification system. A success message with the complaint ID is then shown to the employee.
So now I will present user story details for Module 4 CAPA. I will talk about user story 7, which is initial CAPA. So for the user story description, as a quality manager, I want to create a formal CAPA record linked to a source so that I can formally document the root cause and assign a corrective action plan. And then is the precondition, have two. The first one is the manager must be logged in. The second one, which is important, so there must already exist a valid source record, like an audit finding or a complaint, because you cannot create a CAPA without a source. And then is the flow of events. The manager will enter the source ID and write the root cause analysis. So they will assign an owner and click the submit. The system will check the data and create a new CAPA ID, and it will update the source records set to CAPA initiated. And then is the alternative flow. Alternative flow 1, if the user types a source record that does not exist, the system will show an error. Alternative flow 2, if they leave the root cause empty, the system will stop then and it will loop user back to the form until they fix the error. And that is the exception. If the database connection fails while saving, the system will perform a rollback. This means if the CAPA haven't saved, the system will cancel the status update on the source record. And the last one is the post condition. If everything okay, a new CAPA record will be created, the original source record will be updated, and the assigned owner will get an email notification immediately. So here is my activity diagram modeling the workflow logic. I want to highlight the validation loop in the center. So the system will check immediately after submission. If the source ID is invalid or the mandatory root cause is missing, the flow trigger an alternate path, then loop the user back to the data entry stage. So this can ensure that no incomplete records are ever passed to the database creation step. Only when the data is valid, then we proceed to the create CAPA record and notifying the owner. Finally is the sequence diagram. First, the quality manager clicks submit on the page. The page will send the data to the controller for validation. Once the data is valid, the controller will do 3 things in a specific order. 1, it will send a create message to the CAPA record. 2. It will update the status of the source record to CAPA initiated. 3. It will trigger the notification system to email the owner. Only after all these steps are safe, the system will display the success message to the user. That's all from our Qualitech solution. Thank you.